What's up, guys? Nick Kosko alongside Mike Antosiewicz. Do a little Rutgers recap for you. Not on the call today, of course. We were on the road here at Princeton. Rutgers does fall 18-15. It was a wild match. And Mike, when we were watching, just as a whole, for Princeton to break this 23-match losing streak against Rutgers, it was big for them. But it's, I know we have a little bit of Rutgers bias, I guess to say.
Yes.
But even it was like, this is Princeton's best lineup, and they threw it out there, and they just edged out Rutgers because. Basically the difference was Rutgers loses 65 and 84. Could have went either way for both matches, and then Kolodzik for Princeton gets that pin at 149, and pretty much right there, that's the difference in the entire match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the match was just a crazy up and down roller coaster because even from the first match, right, you're expecting Princeton to at least walk away with one bonus point. You would think that Glory would get the major. They didn't. It was a really close match. You're heading into the second match. Now you're thinking Alvarez is going to get a major, but he doesn't. Okay, so already in the first two matches...
and it's still tied anyway.
Yeah, it's still tied, but still already in the first two matches, your expectations have been defied in both cases. And that pattern just continued all the way out. And unfortunately, Rutgers, I mean, in certain situations, was a second away from changing the outcomes of matches. Really, really close. They left a lot on the mat tonight. They made a lot of mistakes. I think Coach said it when he was talking to the press afterwards. And I mean, they know it too. They made a lot of mistakes. And let me just say one more thing. Yes, if you're a Rutgers fan, there is a nice takeaway here that this is Princeton's best lineup ever, and this is a really, really young. This is a really young lineup, and with injuries. And it was this tight. It goes to show you going forward, right? Rutgers has this unless something happens with recruiting, something like that. But I think for Rutgers, what is the most upsetting thing tonight is that this match fit into a pattern of matches this season. For me, beginning with the Cornell match where they were close, 5-5 splits in these matches, but they lost on bonus points.
Yep.
And in those matches too, there were matches that they could have won and won 6-4 split and win the matches.
And arguably should have won something too.
This match was just another footnote in a season of disappointment.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, again, it's a young team. We know this. So we knew there was going to be some growing pains. There were some highlights this year, of course. I mean, that ends the dual meet season, so Big Tens are up next for Rutgers in a couple weeks at the rack, of course. Just to quickly pinpoint on the key points of this match. So, I mean, we just mentioned it. Aguilar doesn't give up bonus points. All right, big for Rutgers. But then Alvarez does not get bonus points for Rutgers, and it's 3-3. Then you go to 141. They throw out Zach Firestone because it seemed like he was the guy they were moving forward, or not moving forward, but at least the guy today who was better. I would say, Coach said,
he had a better week of preparation.
He was better prepared for this week. So they decided to give him a shot. He goes out there, he beats Keller, and that's a big swing match. That was one of the matches that I pinpointed early on this week that if Rutgers was going to win this match, they had to win 141, and they did. So they're up 6-3, but then it changes because we know Kolodzik's coming in. You know he's going to be he could get major bonus points for Princeton, and then he comes in, he pins Gerard Angelo, and that kind of turned the match on its head, and yet Rutgers still wasn't out of it, but that pin, I think, changed a lot of things, and all of a sudden, you're down 9-6, and then Mike Van Brill gave a valiant effort against Quincy Monday today. He wrestled really well against the top four kid, cuts it, and then Princeton's up to 12-6 now, going to intermission. All right, so you're not out of it. But then we look at 65 and 84 because 74, Willie Scott, great effort, got the win. Jordan Pagan, 197, upsets number 3 is C.J. Bruckey. Number 3, number 4, whatever he is, depending upon the ranking service. But he beats a top 5 kid, and I get Bruckey hurt his knee during the match, and that probably affected him. But Pagano still went out there and won that match. It's a huge upset, big win for him, and that helped him out. But the biggest things were for Rutgers today, even though they got the win at heavyweight, if they just win 65 or 84 today, they win the match, and they were favored 84.
Yeah, I mean, Jander's match, I think, is just really disappointing, not only because he got upset, but there was no offense. I mean, he didn't get a single takedown in that match.
Let's not take anything from Stefanik either. He's a top 25 kid. He's a good wrestler.
He's a top 25. He's a good wrestler, but there was no takedowns from Janzer. And again, what's most frustrating about this is that we were talking leading up to this match how his offense has improved throughout the year.
Right.
That he's been getting better and better when it comes to taking people down. Getting better at taking people down from multiple angles, and
just the flip side of that, his offense is getting better. Yet we're not seeing as much of it lately in the late in the season.
Yeah, so I don't know what that means. Maybe he doesn't have a go-to anymore. You know, maybe earlier in the year he had less things to think about, so he was more instinctive. I'm not really sure, but it's just unfortunate because he's been getting better offensively throughout the year, and for him not to score a takedown this match is just
Right.
It's frustrating.
At 165, just to quickly wrap things up, I mean, Brett Donner was in that match, and then obviously there was a little controversy with the clock and the riding time at the end of the match. There was a challenge thrown by the Rutgers bench and Coach Goodell, but even if the riding time does get cut under a minute for Donner, they go to overtime. There's no guarantee he wins there. He might win, he might not win. So now you're just playing a big what-if game. But that was another match that Rutgers could have had. But I thought overall, in some spots, they looked really good. They look like a good, solid team, but there's just some missed opportunities that we've seen all season long. So that's going to be it for the regular season. Rutgers loses once again to Princeton, 18-15. Big Tens are happening in a couple weeks. In the first weekend of March 7th and 8th at Rutgers at the RAC. Big Ten, that's going to be so exciting. Mike and I are going to be there. We'll be recapping the sessions. We'll be recapping the days and just the big highlights and just to give you guys a lot of coverage and reaction from the tournament as well. So once again, Rutgers drops this match to Princeton 18-15 for Mike Antosiewicz. I'm Nick Kosko. We'll see you at Big Tens.